Chapter 63. God only lets himself be known through love. Suetel says, Yes, the thing is coming together. Only the expression youngest has a problem. For if an angel who has lived for half an eternity could impossibly be a youngest disciple in comparison with the people of this earth? If an angel was certainly rather familiar with heavenly magic before the sun shone in the firmament, what do you think about that? Rebar says, That is certainly a significant point on which I can get stuck. But nonetheless, something else occurs to me. You see, the Master can have pointed to that, in that he presented the boy to us as the youngest of his disciples, just for this moment, for the reason that this boy, clothed in an earthly shell, has perhaps only been in the company of people for a number of days. Suetel says, Yes, if that was possible, then you would certainly be correct again. But you know, accepting such a thing is really a little far-fetched. Either that or Moses, for both cannot exist alongside each other in such circumstances. Rebar says, I don't see that at all. An angel, as is still told from mouth to mouth nowadays, could certainly be Tobias's leader for 7 years. Why should this one not be able to bear a number of days on the earth? This earth is just as much a work of God as he is himself. Suetel says, Yes, if you are telling the truth, and Mathael is also irrefutably correct, then this youth can, worldly speaking, certainly be the youngest disciple of the eternally great Master. The form and his deeds obviously proclaim a higher being from heaven. If this being says himself that he is the youngest disciple of the great Master of Nazareth, this Master must obviously be a Lord over all heaven according to his Spirit. But if that is true, then the great question arises. What can we do in the face of the physical very highest and almighty? And what will we do? For that would truly be no small thing. Rebar says, True, but could we do it differently if things were, as they now seem to me, doubtless to be? You see, the deity is free and does what it wants, and the mortals cannot put any limits on it. If it had come to us as a judge, we would surely be in a bad position. But it came as a most gentle benefactor to us mortals, in order to bring us nearer to it, from out of the old love preached by Father Enoch. And in such circumstances, it is not frightful. But as it seems to me, it gives us to understand only love alone in its genuineness. Because love was certainly the single motive for its coming here. But it cannot be recognized with understanding and with all our highly praised reason. And look, some things are becoming clearer to me. The supposed Greek came to us earlier in such a friendly way and asked us whether we wanted to make the acquaintance of the great Master of Nazareth. But we spoke definitively against this with a sort of fear and countered him with all sorts of empty, logical reasons. We feared the Master because the disciple had already shown us how damned weak our reasons were. Until now, we still calculated with our reason and got very little out of it. And we have to thank the quite strong conjecture which is beginning to become louder and louder now in our mind, to the sidekick which the wise youth gave us, now that his patience is running out. For, as I am now beginning to notice clearly, he had strongly suggested before the Master's long speech that this Greek must be the Master and no one else. But our truly pig reason had always pulled the wool over our eyes, and so we couldn't see the forest for the trees. Now that, due to the sidekick, we have some love for the Greek, a few layers of scales seem to have fallen from the eyes of our soul, and we now begin to make some conjectures. And I now believe that we should throw our reason overboard into the sea and follow only the feelings of our hearts. And so we will surely reach our goal faster than through our reason, which was only lent to man as using a spoon for the pot when cooking a meal, namely to stir the food. But once the food in the pot is cooked, the spoon is no longer indispensable. What is your opinion now? Suetel says, opening wide his eye, "Friend, I see well that you have settled on the Greek more and more. It is the same case with me, and I share your opinion completely. But I do not agree at the moment with throwing away reason. For if we lay aside a feeling that is bubbling inside us, what do we still have in us over the animals of the forest, which have no reason and thus must follow their instinct? You see, man is often overcome by all sorts of feelings. If he followed his feelings with no discretion and without seeking the advice of his purer reason, where would he end up? Therefore, in my opinion, it is necessary above all to purify the reason as much as possible. For only led through enlightened reason can our better feelings become a true blessing to us. The feelings of a person are like a many-armed octopus in the sea, who always stretches out his many arms towards food. But there is no intelligence at all in this animal. Now, if a person sets his reason aside, he would obviously resemble such an animal. For the simple raw feeling of a human is more food and enjoyment-seeking than any other animal. Only educated and purified reason rules and orders the feelings of a person, cuts out the bad ones, then keeps only the good and pure ones, and in this way makes a true person out of the fake person. Therefore, you must not want to throw divine reason overboard, for without reason, any donkey and any ox can rule over us. The other 10 agree completely with Suetel, and all share his opinion. But Rebar shrugs his shoulders thoughtfully, and Suetel says, "Well, you surely cannot have anything to say against that. For my statement stands before God and all the world, as firmly as Mount Sinai, on which Moses received the commandments for a nation powerfully endowed with reason.